Hey, it's Darryl Syms and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to play that piece that you heard at the beginning of the video, which is a Mateus Asato style pentatonic shred piece. In particular, there are two very fast-paced, quick, wow pentatonic runs that I want to share with you, which you can maybe consider licks to throw in with your improvisation, or perhaps you can even use these patterns as an exercise to develop your picking. Just before we crack on with the video, there are two things that I want to mention real quick. Number one is that since it's Black Friday weekend, I have a 30% sale on my website, courses.darrylsyms.com, where you can purchase my brand new release, Essential Theory for Guitarists, at a discounted rate. And number two, if you would like to download a tab and a backing track for the piece that I played at the beginning, you can find that on my Patreon page, which is linked in the description below. With that said, let's crack straight on with the video. For this piece, I'm using a pretty typical lead sound using bias effects. And the backing track is in the key of D minor. So we have a B flat major chord into a D minor. And those two chords are just repeating over and over. So we start off this solo with a bend on the 12th fret of the G string. I'm raking into this note to add attitude, which is very important during the first part of this solo. So it's a full bend, then I'm going to tap on the 15, followed by a 17, release. Then I have that Mateus Asato quick slide kind of thing going on there. I've done a video on this in the past. You can click in the top right of the screen to check that out. And then we have, and then after that we dive straight into another bend on that 12 there, including a rake again. And then after that bend, we have a pretty typical pentatonic run here. And notice I finish on an upstroke there. That's very, very important because that sets us up for the next phrase. So I'll play all of that very slowly. Pay attention to the picking hand here and the slides in phrasing in the last half of that. So we have, that is the first phrase. And then we have the first really fast pentatonic run, which is quite a challenge. It may take you a while to get up to speed on this, which is why I recommend that you take this at a slower speed to begin with. We start off by descending a G minor shape pentatonic scale here, which sounds like this. And then we go up to the E shape and descend this part of the scale. And that's kind of the first half of that. So once again. Okay, there's a slight palm mute on there as well, just to add clarity to that. So as I said, that's the first kind of half, if you like, and then the second half. That's the more challenging part, I find. So we have a few slides in there and there's some chromatic notes as we go along. Now we're not quite done with that pentatonic line yet, because after that last note, we have huge bend on the end there, which might hurt your fingers. Now let me play that whole phrase together, which you could consider the first of two fast pentatonic licks here. This is certainly the harder one of the two, so if you find this tricky to get up to speed, then don't worry too much. There is a slower one for you coming right up. So here we go. After that huge bend at the end there. We descend a little chromatic phrase and then finish on another big bend. So we have. So that's on the 18th fret of the B string there. That's a double bend. What do you call that? Like a 2-4 steps. So we're bending up to the 21st fret here. It's very slow. You can hear the bottom, you can hear the top. And then when you descend back to the original note, if you lack sustain or you just want to add a bit more attitude in there, what I like to do is pick it again and add a lot of vibrato. So you could have. Before continuing on to the next little bit, which is very easy and slow. The only thing that you must do to set you up for the picking on the next phrase is do a hammer-on pull-off here, upstroke here, pull-off, and then pick the rest alternate. That last upstroke sets you up for the first note of the next quick phrase. So altogether from the very first big bend there, we have. And then the next fast pentatonic phrase that I want to share with you, which isn't as fast as the first one because we're packing 6 notes between 2 beats, versus beforehand on the first lick we were packing in 4 notes between 2 beats. This is a great sequence. I'll just play the whole lot slow for you to follow along. It's in patterns of 3, so 3 strings at a time, and there's lots of slides which are very important to add to the phrasing and the attitude of the phrase. So we have. That's the main chunk of that phrase. As you can see, we're really just working in patterns of 3 here, staying within each pentatonic shape. The slides are certainly one of the most important things here. Without the slides between each sequence, it just doesn't sound anywhere near as good. Now at the end of this sequence, when you reach this note, we're going to do another quick slide. And I want you to really add some attack to that, or even a pinch harmonic if you can. And then after that, we're just going to descend the shape. So, all together, if I play that slow and then fast, we would have. And one more time, a little bit faster. One little thing to note is that at the end of the phrase, I hammer on with that little finger, or with the third finger, whatever's comfy, and then push up with that first finger. So we're hammering on, and then sliding, which sets you up for the next phrase where I'm ascending a triad shape. Let me just go ahead and play that slowly for you. So. And if you want to add some extra attitude in there, it's important to add some microtonal bends in there. So if I play it a little bit quicker and add that attitude, you would have. And then that sums up the last phrase that I want to share with you. So let me go ahead and play everything together at a slower speed for you to try and follow along to. Once again, I'll take the backing track and play it at around 50 BPM for you to perhaps try and play along with. And then if you want to download the backing track at its full speed for you to play along with, you can grab that on my Patreon. And there you have it. That's everything that I want to share with you today. I hope you took something away from this video. I'd love to see you give this a go, or at least isolate one of those licks and try and play it to your best ability. If you do want to share, then make sure you post a video on Instagram and tag me at Darryl Syms, and I'll be sure to give it a like, comment, and all of that cool stuff. And until next time, I will see you in the next video.